Welcome back to the Mowing in the Dark podcast. I am your host, Aaron Sutter. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Guys, it is crappy outside today. We're getting snow here in Michigan. Now, it's not sticking on the ground, but it's flurrying all over the place. It's very windy. It's a nasty day out. Today was supposed to be the first day that I start mowing on my routes, and it just didn't happen. It's too wet. So what I've been doing is advertising, not for mowing, but for Ventrac work. So a lot of driveway repair advertising is what I've been doing. And if you haven't heard, I purchased a Ventrac a couple of weeks ago, and I've been doing some jobs with that. I've done 4 driveway repair jobs. Sorry, I'm getting a little tongue twisted there. And it's been going well with the Ventrac. It's been going really well. And so today I was just doing some more advertising because these are one-off jobs. It's not recurring work like it is with lawn care. And so it's a learning curve for me, because over the last couple of years I haven't really had to advertise my lawn care business, because I've had so many customers already in the queue from the year before. And so I just keep the same clients. I do raise the price a little bit every year. This year I raised my price 20% for lawn mowing. Now, I really hope that I don't have to raise my price again next year, because I really enjoy these clients. I like them a lot. I don't want to overtax them on money. A lot of them are older. A lot of them are living on Social Security and retirement now. And so I feel for them. And if I don't have to raise my price next year, I'm not going to. Now, that's not what this episode's about. I just wanted to get started here. Let's jump into the show sponsor, and then we will jump into today's topic. As a lawn care provider, do you want to make a year-round income? Are you worried at the end of the lawn care season because you don't know how you're going to make it through the winter? Then you need to check out the 12-month contract from mowinginthedarkpodcast.com. This is the same contract that I use to make my own year-round income. This 100% editable 12-month contract is available for only $5.99. The contract has rock-solid terms and conditions so that you're protected from all kinds of liability in lawn maintenance and snow removal. Get your 12-month contract at mowinginthedarkpodcast.com today. All right, guys, so today's topic, what I want to talk about, it's not really a topic, but what I want to talk about is timing is everything when you're advertising in seasonal work. Timing is everything, and I'm learning this with advertising for Ventrac work. And so I don't really want to focus on the Ventrac itself. I want to focus on the timing aspect and the advertising aspect of this, because it's something that I'm learning or relearning or whatever. Because again, like I said, I haven't had to advertise. And so the whole Ventrac work thing, trying to get new driveways to repair, what I've been doing is posting in community groups, local community groups, or local community pages. And so I did 3 or 4 of those today. And right now it's raining outside, it's snowing, it's wet. People's potholes are filling up with water, and they do not like splashing in the water. I don't know what it is about that. I don't know what is it. Maybe it's an extra annoyance for people with gravel driveways. But whenever it's wet and raining outside, I get way more response on my ads. And they're not really ads, it's a post. I make a post, but it's an ad for driveway repair. And I get way more response when it's wet out than when it's dry out. Because last week we had 80-degree temperatures here. I know, right? Snow today, 80 degrees on Friday or Saturday. I mean, it is weird. That's more than a 40-degree swing in just a day. Michigan's crazy. Okay, but anyway, last week I did an advertisement on Monday, and it was bone dry. It's been bone dry for a little bit now, not too long, but a little bit, and no response at all from these same Facebook groups, the same Facebook pages that I posted on. No response at all. Now today, this morning, when it's raining, it's wet, it's muddy, I post in those same groups for the same thing, and people are coming out of the woodwork, seems like. Now, they're not really coming out of the woodwork. I've done 3 driveway estimates already today, and I've got a 4th one that I'm going to do after this podcast is done. So it's crazy to me that the weather plays that much a part in someone wanting to get this work done, but it does. It really does. And I just got to thinking while we were eating dinner, I'm like, good grief, this is so crazy to me. But it's true. Timing when you're advertising for something like this is everything. Same thing with lawn care. You can advertise right now as the grass is starting to grow, but you're not going to get nearly the amount of inquiries right now as you will the first week of May. Because the first week of May, at least here in Michigan, the grass is already grown several inches. Now people are really worried. I got to get this lawn cut. Now they're on the move, getting things going. It takes people a while to move on something. And so if you're advertising your lawn care business now in April, the 3rd week in April, it might be too soon for some people. Don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Don't give up. Last week I thought, oh, well, maybe people just aren't interested anymore now that the weather is warming up and things are just getting, people are focused on different things, and maybe that's true, but I think it's more just a psychosomatic thing. My potholes are full of water. I need to get them fixed because I don't like it splashing on my car. I don't like that. I think it's gross. Maybe that's what people are thinking. And it's the same thing for lawn care in May. Oh man, my grass is starting to get up to my shins. Like, I need to get moving on this. This ain't right. I got to get going or I'm going to get a fine. People almost need to be forced into getting their lawn mowed, searching out a lawn care person. And you and I both know, being lawn care business owners, that this is the absolute wrong time to be looking for a lawn care guy. You should have been looking for a lawn care guy in February, right? Would you agree with that? That's my thinking. Like, before the snow is even melted on the ground here, you should be looking for a lawn care person if you're looking for someone to take care of your lawn. Because compared to how many houses there are very few lawn care companies to take care of you. And because of last year's gas prices and all the inflation that our industry, especially our industry, went into, a lot of guys got out of the business. They decided they can't make money in this business anymore. So now there's less of us to go around. And now people are scrambling to find someone the first week in May when the grass is up toward their shins, and they can't find anyone because they weren't thinking ahead. We were thinking ahead. Excuse me. We were thinking ahead because we wanted people to come on board in February, but they weren't thinking about lawns in February. Out of sight, out of mind, right? If the yard is covered in snow, I'm not thinking about the yard. It's not there. It's as if it disappeared. It's like the little kid who, the baby, really, I call him a baby, but like a 2-year-old, who puts their hands over their eyes and they say, "You can't see me." And the parent plays along. Where did Levi go? Where did Levi go? And he really thinks because his hands are over his eyes and he can't see anything, that you can't see him. It's the same thing with this stuff, with driveways, with lawn care, with landscaping. I'll just put my hands over my eyes and pretend it's not there. That's what people do until they're forced into it. And so timing is really everything. Now, some people would say, just advertise all the time. Advertise all the time. Just keep advertising. Keep the machine going. Well, that definitely is the case if you're running a crew or 2 crews or 3 crews or a big business. You need to be advertising all the time. Absolutely. But if you're a solo guy and you only need to fill 2, 3, 4, 5 spots for your season, and the rest are people that are coming back from last year, now you need to time the market. That's what we call timing the market. Just like the stock market. You can try to time the market, but it's never perfect. And so you have to be watching the weather. You have to be watching the skies. You have to be watching the grass. Drive around your neighborhoods. Is the grass growing? Has it started to grow? And is it just ankle high? Or is it getting up to the shins high? Because when it's getting up to the shins high, that's when you nail that marketing. I mean, you just flood your community pages with advertisement upon advertisement because people want to get it done. They don't want to get it done in April when the grass has barely started to grow. They've got a few sprigs coming up, but it's just not there. It's not on their radar. Snow's falling from the sky. It's not on their radar. They've got their hands over their eyes. But when that grass starts to grow and it starts to get warmer outside and that grass is up to their shins, now they're freaking out. Now they're like, I got to find somebody right now. And you'll get that. Hey, you'll get a call or an email. I need somebody to come out here and mow my lawn as soon as possible. Why? Because they're afraid that they're going to get a ticket from their city, from their municipality, whatever. And maybe that's not the client you want, but I can tell you what, you can transform that client into a good client because I've done it many times. You get that call, hey, I really need somebody to come out and mow my grass. I'll say, sure, I'll be out Thursday, whenever the day is that I'm on that route. And then I show up, I clean it up, I make it look nice, and then when I pick that client up, I say, all right, you're going to be on the schedule. Your day is on Tuesday or Thursday or whatever, and you're going to be mowed every Thursday. Unless it's dry out, then I'm going to skip you, and you won't be charged unless you're on a 12-month contract, which I recommend, which you can find at mowinginthedarkpodcast.com. I recommend it. It's the sweetest thing. It's like music to my ears when someone says, I want to be on a 12-month contract. Oh, it's heavenly. It's like the angels are singing because it's year-round income. And I love year-round income in the lawn care business. When I stop mowing lawns in October, on October 31st, and I still have money coming in all the way through April. I love it. I love it. Now again, most of those people are on snow, so I do have some work to do, but it's year-round income, and I absolutely love year-round income off of lawn care work. So I've already done the work. They're just keeping the pay. They're just paying the same amount month after month. I love it. Anyway, that's a side note. Rabbit trail. So timing is everything. You've got to time your market in your area, especially if you're solo. Especially if you're solo or you've got a very small crew, you and a helper, you and another guy. I don't even like to call them helpers. I like to call them an employee. You and an employee, you're going out, you're mowing the lawns. If you've got to fill some spots or you're wanting to grow that business, time the market. Time the market. Timing is everything. Start just flooding those Facebook groups. And no, you can't take on every single one. You need to be picky. But the more estimates you get coming in, the more chance you have of getting the right client. And so the best way to get as many estimates as you can is by timing the market just right. Now, I would advise you, once you see that grass starting to grow, like it is now here in Michigan, just start advertising. Once a week, just advertise in those Facebook groups. And then as you see that grass really starting to pop, now you're doing 2, 3, 4 advertisements a week in those Facebook groups, and just keep it going. If you don't have a website, just have them message you on Facebook or put your phone number in there. Do not be afraid to put your phone number in there. I get it. There's a lot of spam. I get it. You're a business owner. You're going to have to deal with spam. Okay? That's why I prefer to have a website. I put my website in there and I send them to that. Number one, it helps your website. You've got more people, more eyes getting on your website, more clicks. The algorithm on Google sees that. They see, okay, let's keep this thing going. Let's keep, he's getting clicks. All right, let's boost this thing up. And that's what I like about it. So I send them to my website. If you don't have a website, you can make one. I use Wix. You can use whatever you want. You can have someone make it if you want to. But it's fairly simple. Yes, it's time consuming. I would suggest doing it in the off season. Get that thing set up and ready to go. Have your Google My Business listing set up so that people can go to that. They can look you up on Google. When you do jobs, make sure that you're asking people for reviews. Just ask them, hey, would you go to my Google My Business thing? Maybe you could even link it. I'm not sure. I tried to link it once and I could not figure out how to link it. I'm going to try again here with these driveway repairs so I can get more reviews on that. But send them a link. Have them post a review. Just say, hey, if you enjoyed the work, just post a review. A 5-star review would be awesome if you could. But if you don't feel that it's a 5-star, if I didn't do a 5-star job, what can I do to help it get to a 5-star review? Things like that. Get reviews. That all helps, okay? But the whole basis of this podcast here today is time the market, especially if you're a solo guy. If you're not solo, if you're running crews, like I said before, just advertise all the time. You'll have enough money to do some physical flyers if you want. I'm sure you'll have a website. You can do Facebook ads, things like that. Just constantly market because you've got to keep that ball rolling. But if you're solo or if you're just a 2-man crew, just time the market a little bit. All right. It doesn't have to be perfect, but when that grass really starts to grow, you start seeing that grass sprout up. You start seeing the grass green up. Now it's time to go. It's time to get those advertisements out. All right. Grass is starting to grow. Post once a week in the Facebook community pages around your area. I'm not saying do Facebook ads. I would not spend money on Facebook ads. I would simply post in your community groups, the communities that you want to serve that are around your area. All right? Be specific. Be specific about the area that you service. That's important. You don't want to deal with a bunch of people that are contacting you from Timbuktu, 80 miles up the road. You want someone that's in your area. All right. Now, granted, you are going to have to turn down people. You're going to have to set an area. And if they're outside of that area, I'm sorry, I can't serve you. Get some recommendations. Have some recommendations in your pocket for companies that service the other areas so you can recommend that. That gives your name a very good sound when people hear that. When you recommend somebody to them because you can't service their property, that makes them think very highly of you. And that's important. All right? So this is just some stuff to think about as we are really starting to get into the spring rush here. Now is the time. Now here we're just getting into the spring rush. Where you're at, you might be full on in the spring rush, now's the time to be advertising if you need to fill spots on your schedule. You've got to hit it hard. And Facebook, for me, has been a game changer for these driveway things. And so I would recommend trying out Facebook. Just community groups, not ads. All right? Don't buy ads on Facebook. I don't think it's worth it for a small company to do that unless you're seeking a broader audience, okay? Or a broader service area. Just post in these community groups. Be specific about what you're going to do for them, what you offer, and only advertise one service at a time. Don't muddy it with 2 or 3 or 4 services. One service per ad. All right? It has to be one service per ad. You cannot be multitasking on an ad. Don't do it. I know it sounds like a great idea because us business owners, we're always thinking about how can we get more bang out of this thing. It does not work that way. It's got to be individualized for your services, okay? So get people interested, be specific about what you're going to do, how you do the service, all that stuff. You will be very surprised at how many responses you get from these ads. If you do them right, if you write them well, if you pay attention to your language, if you really focus on it, have someone proofread it, okay? It's super important. But like I said, guys, these driveway renovations just today, the ad that I put out today just got me thinking, wow, this is a timing thing. It's not a interested, not interested thing. It's a timing thing. I just didn't have the market timed. Now, whenever it rains, I'm going to be posting an ad. And why not? Because if it's raining, I ain't working, right? So let's post an ad for driveway repair. Every time it rains, people are interested in driveway repair. Every time it warms up, people see that grass growing, they are interested in lawn care. You've got to get on the horse and time the market a little bit. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. I hope it was helpful, especially for a lot of you new guys out there that are just getting started this year. I know that it's hard. I know that it can be frustrating at times getting started. I know that there's a lot of work out there. It's just trying to get that work. Getting people to recognize you, to notice you. That's the hard part, and that's what I'm trying to talk about today, is getting people to notice you. All right, so I hope it was helpful. And guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I will see you in the next episode.